So in an update that should surprise absolutely nobody, because guitar players are gonna guitar player, the Behringer Centaur pedal is becoming much harder to get hold of new, and of course they're appearing on used sites now for significantly more than the original cost. Right, so the first thing to say is the obvious, like, please don't buy this for hundreds of pounds or dollars. You know, that's the first PSA thing to say. I hope I'm not contributing to the madness by even making this video, but I wanted to kind of dig a little deeper to try and understand some of the availability issues and what's going on with retailers. I don't think there's anything official being said about as to why this is now sort of stopping. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But regardless of what's going on with the actual supply of new pedals, they are starting to appear on eBay, not Reverb, but certainly eBay for significantly higher prices. If for whatever reason you really genuinely love the sound of the Behringer Centaur that you're hearing, and you don't just want to scalp one of these to try and make a profit, download my captures of this that I've made, and I'm sure you'll be more than happy. So I bought the Behringer Centaur a couple of weeks ago now, maybe a month, from Anderton's, done a video demo of it. Quite like the pedal, still working out my thoughts as to the whole legal morality angle to it. But I got it in light of the announcement with the lawsuit, and I'd forgotten that this was actually being released. I'd pre-ordered it back in November originally, back when it was first announced, but cancelled it because the ship date was really unclear as to when the real world availability was going to be. And then I didn't even know it had actually been released, certainly for sale in Anderton's, until the lawsuit had kind of hit my newsfeed. So yeah, some questions really about the availability. So when I was kind of Googling, and I picked this up from Anderton's, I was looking on other places. Gear for Music in the UK said they had them available, but it was where it's not really available. It's, you know, they can get hold of them, so they said. And then nowhere else, no other UK-based retailers. Thomann had them for sale. I think we're actually shipping them. But yeah, they're not UK based. And that got me really thinking as to what is going on with the availability. And now it's kind of dried up completely, so Andertons don't have them in stock. So we're starting to see, as you can't get them for new, we're starting to see the guitar player craziness kick into effect, and they're appearing on used sites, eBay in particular, for significantly higher prices than the new price. Now, obviously the first thing to say is that in likelihood no one's going to be paying these prices. It's just fantasy craziness that people do. But there is a bit of a boiling of the pot, I think, that happens, in a ratcheting up effect where your heuristics kind of normalize to a new higher price because you've seen these crazy super high ones. So if somebody was really interested in getting this pedal, maybe they'd be more sort of inspired or kind of, you know, led to maybe pay higher than they would rationally otherwise if they had not seen such, you know, crazy high prices. The thing that I really wanted to do in this video is just to dig into more of the availability question and what's going on, just to talk a little bit about that. So if I go over to Anderton's homepage, it just starts to get interesting. It says on their homepage, Behringer, shop Behringer back in stock, and front and centaur. But you can see the Behringer Centaur in the advertising thumbnail for this here. It's back in stock. You click through, and then the Behringer Centaur in the list of items is pre-order now. It's saying £69.99, so it's gone up 10 or 12 pounds from what I paid, and it's pre-order now with more stock due on the 24th of June. So that's about a week, 2 weeks away from the date of recording this video on the 16th of June. So yeah, that's what it's looking like. Now that has slipped because I'm pretty sure a week ago it was sooner date than that. But that's Anderton's. If we go on over to, as I say, Gear for Music. So this is saying more on the way. Now, Behringer is saying it's £58, but the estimated delivery, is the 8th to 9th of January 2026, which is a considerably different date to the 24th of June 2025. So what's going on there. You would think that it wouldn't take Gear for Music 6 months longer than it would to get stock than Anderton's. I know Anderton's a big, powerful, retailer, but Gear for Music are certainly a powerhouse within the UK in terms of, being like this monstrous warehouse of buying power now. So that's Gear for Music. Big discrepancy there. If you go on over to Thomann, it's £58, so same as Gear for Music, and it's saying it's in stock within 1 to 2 weeks. I hate it when they do that. You see the words in stock and then within 1 to 2 weeks. So frustrating. Click through, yeah, same thing. So yeah, in stock 1 to 2 weeks. £58, yeah, interesting. And I still can't see it, anywhere else in the UK. So that's the new situation. And it does make you think, like, how many of these they've made new and how many have been available, because it's very few retailers. Doesn't seem like there's been tons of chatter about lots being in stock. Yeah, and that is maybe what's kind of driving some of the thought process behind getting this up already onto like the used sites. So this ratcheting up effect, the kind of boiling of the pot. So if we go on over to eBay, so we can start to see some of the listings now for the Behringer Centaur on eBay, and yeah, some of the craziness that ensues. Now, you would hope the reality is nobody's going to actually do this, despite the number of people watching these listings, which I find quite amusing. 13 watchers. 20 watches. I'm guessing that's just the kind of MJ popcorn effect of just people just like in on the joke of it all. But here we do have one in progress. So this is the kind of the ratcheting up of boiling of the pot thing. So now we're seeing a new listing, pre-owned, there's 6 days left. You've got it's up to £83 already. So, £10, £20 more than the original price. But if we go to look at what has just sold, so show only, sold, completed, this is where it gets really interesting, because we can see that through the month of April, May, June, they were selling they were selling used on eBay, as in like pre-owned and used, for the same price of the new pedal, so 68. Well, more than that, because yeah, 58 to 68, 69 pounds. And then over the last couple of days or week, you can see that on the 13th of June, one sold used for £94.53. And, in the title of the listing, we've got Behringer Centaur Overdrive Pedal Lawsuit Edition. The lawsuit, stick the word lawsuit in it and it must be the taboo good stuff. Not available anywhere. And then the other one above it, Behringer Centaur Overdrive Pedal, unopened, currently out of stock everywhere, which sold for £122. So we're now at double the cost of the original, the new pedal, with 8 bids on the 14th of June. That was 2 days ago as of recording this video. So you can see that, and I'd be interested over the next week, are there going to be more of these? So that one that's currently got 6 days left, where's that pedal going to end up at? And this is the kind of ratcheting effect that I kind of worry about in terms of how these things happen. Like the actual quantities that they've actually made of this new is going to really come into effect and to play here, because like the Digitech Bad Monkey fiasco from a year or two ago, when Josh Scott, JHS, kind of inflated that price on the used market, that they went up to crazy, stupid money, as guitarists were trying to source the Bad Monkey, but quickly came back down again when people realized there are just thousands of these available and the effect kind of blows over. People kind of realize the silliness when they really are available, and the scarcity isn't a factor. But if these are, for whatever reason, intentional or otherwise, pretty scarce, then it doesn't matter how good it is, it will just become desirable and expensive for that reason as market economics come into play. And it's just a little bit wild to me. It is a cool little pedal. I do quite like it. The sound of it is good. I'm a general fan of the Klon type of sound. I don't know about the internals. I've seen some people criticizing the kind of build quality on the inside, but it feels fairly solid. It doesn't feel like super cheap build quality wise, and it does sound pretty good. I think it does the thing that I imagine to be a Klon pretty well. But am I going to pay like double the price or hundreds of pounds for it? Obviously not. There are so many other great options that you can get for cheaper and that you're not getting kind of bent over for. And when you're bending yourself over for it, it's just not worth it just to have something like this. Like I say, if you really want the sound of the Behringer Centaur, download my captures of the thing. As far as I'm aware, there's no new news on the lawsuit or on what's going on, but maybe there's some hints of like, that's potentially why these are not currently available right now, and they're not sending more out right away. Although we will see, I guess 2 weeks, won't we? Whether we'll see whether it's Anderton's and Thomann that are right with the ship dates. So we've got Anderton's saying the 24th of June is going to be available again, and Thomann saying pretty much the same, 1 to 2 weeks. But Gear for Music are far less optimistic, saying that more is on the way, estimated for the 8th to 9th of January 2026. So I guess we'll see who's right. Maybe I'll do an update and to see if these do come back in stock as to what's the actual real world availability of these new, and then what's going on with the the used prices. Who knows? Guitar players are going to guitar player. We are just a weird bunch, aren't we? Anyways, those are my thoughts on this, and let me know what you think in the comments. Are you trying to source, scurrying around, trying to get your hands on the new gold dust of a gold Behringer Centaur overdrive pedal? Yeah, let me know in the comments. If you've liked the video, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'll have another improvised shredder over that backing track. If you want to get the backing track or the tabs to any of those solos or the presets, everything's linked in the description to my Patreon, my Cortex Cloud profile, my solo app for learning to visualize the fretboard, ultimate fretboard visualization course, and Fibonacci guitars, all the good stuff. And until next time, thanks for watching.